Okay, good morning. In the last class, we were looking at data and different similarity measures uh, between different data types, right? Now, before actually going to model building, uh, the next thing we have to look at is um what if there are redundant attributes in the is we said that every data item or every data object, okay, every data object which we have uh, is represented using a feature vector, right? That is, every object, say A, has a set of features, say F1, F2, etc., Fn. Right, a student is represented by his register number, roll number, admission number, marks. Several features are used for representing an object, and that was called a feature vector. Now, how can we be sure that all the features are equally important or equally relevant, or are there are redundant attributes in that feature set? Okay, say for example, let us say we have for a student itself, we have one feature for representing date of birth and another feature for representing age. Okay, so date of birth and age actually both can be derived from each other. Either way, you can do it, right? So they are actually two redundant attributes. So only one of them is necessary. Why do we say we want to reduce the number of attributes? Because the more, it is always better to have as many number of attributes or features as possible. Okay, because it gives you more information about the object you are trying to model, but at the same time, more number of features means you have to do more computation in order to come up with the model. Okay, so that is why we always before starting with model building, we have to look at what whether there are redundant features, and we will the most common terms associated with it is feature selection and feature extraction. Okay, so these are terms which you might come across later also. Feature selection and feature extraction. Now, the difference between these two terms is feature selection means you have a set of features, and from among them, maybe you have a mechanism for identifying what are the best features and you select the topmost ones, or maybe you eliminate some of the features. But in the case of feature extraction, uh, the difference is in the case of feature selection, if you have features, say some A1, A2, etc., AN, uh, from among them you choose some of the features. Okay, that is feature selection. But in the case of feature extraction, this particular feature vector is mapped onto some other feature vector. Okay, it is not the same features. From these, you are not selecting some of them. So these two terms are very commonly used in the case of machine learning. That is why we are introducing it here. Okay, so we were talking about redundant attributes. Okay, redundant attributes is if an attribute can be derived from another attribute or a set of attributes. Okay, the example which we talked about is date of birth and age. We can actually derive one from the other. So some redundancies can detected by correlation analysis. Okay, so what are the mechanisms through which we are going to identify those attributes which are related to each other? Okay, given two attributes, correlation analysis can measure how strongly one attribute implies the other. That is, you look at date of birth and age and you try to find out whether there is a relationship between them using some mathematical measure and then decide that one of them only is required. So, in the case of nominal attributes, we go to do what is known as a chi-square test, and for numeric attributes you use correlation coefficient and covariance methods, and for the other types of attributes, say for example, ordinal attributes, maybe we can convert it into a numeric attribute. We saw such a method when we were discussing similarity measures also. So then after that you can do a correlation analysis. Okay. Okay, so now we'll look at how we can find correlation between, say, two attributes which are of nominal type. Okay, and for that we are going to use what is known as a chi-squared correlation test. Now, how does it work? Now, suppose we have a nominal attributes A and B. Okay, we have two nominal attributes A and B, and we are trying to find whether these two are correlated with each other. And A has C distinct values. We said it is a nominal data type, right? So it has a certain set of attributes. Say, for example, color has a set of attributes. So A has C distinct values A1, A2, etc. AC, and B has R distinct values B1, B2, etc. BR. Okay. Now, what you do is, given a data set, okay, given a data set, what we can do is, from the data we can actually come up with what is known as a contingency table. Now, how the contingency table looks like is, this is an example. Okay, so here, so we are talking about a relationship, or whether there is a correlation between two different attributes. Now, what are the attributes? In this case, one of the attributes is gender. Okay, one of the attributes is gender with values male and female. Okay, and the other is the preference of a person for reading books. Preference for reading books. So some people prefer fiction and some people prefer non-fiction. Now, from the data set, you find out how many of males read fiction. That in this case is 250. Now, how many females read fiction? 200. How many males read non-fiction? 50. And how many females read non-fiction? It is 1000. Okay, so this is our contingency table. So from the data set, for each of the attribute pairs, you find out the counts corresponding to them. Okay, so going back here, so the data tuples described by A and B can be shown as a contingency table with the C value, say, of A making up the columns and the R values making up the rows. Now, if A, I, B, J denote the joint event that attribute A takes on value AI and attribute B takes on value BJ, then so for that, each and every possible AIBJ, that is, you are saying AIBJ is the joint event that attribute A takes on value AI, this, and attribute B takes on value BJ. Okay. അപ്പോൾ അതാണ് നമ്മളിവിടെ കണ്ടത്. Attribute A takes on value male and attribute B takes on value fiction. So അങ്ങനെയുള്ള അതിന്റെ corresponding ആയിട്ടുള്ള numbers, we find out the numbers. So for each and every possible AI BJ joined event, it has a cell in the table and you fill out the cell with the data. Now, how do you calculate the chi-squared value, Pearson's chi-squared statistic? That is what we are using to find out whether there is a correlation between the two attributes. Now, what we do is we find out this OIJ. OIJ stands for observed number of, this is the observed number corresponding to, that is for attribute A takes on value AI and for B it takes on value BJ. Okay. അപ്പോൾ ഓരോ സെല്ലിനകത്തും, that is ഓരോ സെല്ലിനകത്തും ഒബ്സർവ്ഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള എത്ര നമ്പർ ഉണ്ട്, that is OIJ. Okay, and this is E stands for expected. Expected means if those two attributes are independent, how many count do you actually expect there, and how many is the actual observed value. അത് തമ്മിലുള്ള ഡിഫറൻസ് ആണ് നമ്മളിവിടെ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നത്. How do you calculate expected? Now, expected is equal to the count of A is equal to AI. Say for example, gender is equal to female. How many females are there into how many actual uh, uh, that is B attribute is what? B attribute is the type of books they read, right? So how many fiction readers are there? So that also we get from here. So how many fiction readers are there? You get here 450. How many females are there? You get 1200. Okay, so how you calculate expected value for a fiction and female is 1200 into 450 divided by n, the number of elements in your data set. Okay, so count of number of values with A having a value of AI into count of B having a value Bj divided by n. That is the expected value. So if we take just one cell, so we look at this cell, first cell. Okay, so how many males read fiction? The observed value is 250. Now expected, what we said is how many males are there? That is 300. Okay, how many males are there? 300 into how many people in total read fiction? Okay, that is 450. 300 into 450 divided by n. N is the total number of people, which is 1500. So you put 1500 here. Okay, ഇതാണ് expected എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞത് നമ്മൾ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നത്. Okay, so that is what is calculated here. It is 90. So expected is 90. Expected എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ രണ്ട് ആട്രിബ്യൂട്ട്സും ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് ആണെന്നുള്ള അസംഷനിൽ എത്ര വാല്യൂസ് വരും എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഈ എക്സ്പെക്റ്റഡ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് ആകുമ്പോഴാണ് നമ്മൾ രണ്ടും കൂടെ മൾട്ടിപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ സോ ദിസ് ഇസ് ദി എക്സ്പെക്റ്റഡ്. നമ്മൾ എക്സ്പെക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത് എന്താണ്? ഫിക്ഷൻ വായിക്കുന്ന മെയിൽസ് ഇസ് ഓൺലി 90, ദി ആക്ച്വൽ വൺ ഇസ് 250. സോ വാട്ട് ഇസ് ദ ഡിഫറൻസ് ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ദീസ് ടു? ഓക്കെ, അങ്ങനെ എല്ലാ സെൽസിനും കറസ്പോണ്ടിങ് ആയിട്ട് വി ആക്ച്വലി ഡു എ കാൽക്കുലേഷൻ. ഓക്കെ, അങ്ങനെ എല്ലാ സെൽസിനും ഇതിന്റെ ഡിഫറൻസിന്റെ സ്ക്വയർ എടുക്കുന്നു, ബിക്കോസ് നെഗറ്റീവ് വാല്യൂസ് നമ്മൾ എലിമിനേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട്. ആൻഡ് ദിസ് ഇസ് ഡൺ ഫോർ ഓൾ പെയർസ് ഓഫ് വാല്യൂസ്. ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് വൈ യു ഹാവ് j is equal to 1 to r and I is equal to 1 to c4. So every one of them you take. Okay, അപ്പോൾ ആൻഡ് ദെൻ യു ടേക്ക് എ സം. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിന്റെ ഡിഫറൻസ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒബ്സർവ്ഡും എക്സ്പെക്റ്റഡും തമ്മിൽ എത്രത്തോളം ഡിഫറൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ ആ ഡിഫറൻസ് വലുതാണെങ്കിൽ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇഫ് ദേ ആർ ക്ലോസ് ടുഗെദർ, our expectation is that the two attributes are independent. ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് ആണെങ്കിൽ ഈ ഇ ഐ ജെ ആണ് ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് ആയിട്ട് കിട്ടുന്ന വാല്യൂ. ആ ഇ ഐ ജിക്ക് ക്ലോസ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു വാല്യൂ ആണ് വരേണ്ടത്. എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഡിഫറൻസ് ഹാസ് ടു ബി സ്മോൾ. Okay, so when they are actually related, then this എന്താണ് ഈ ഡിഫറൻസ് വളരെ വലുതായിട്ട് വരും. Okay, so when they are not correlated, the chi-squared value becomes really large. Okay, now okay, here we have to, okay, the chi-squared test, the hypothesis that A and B are independent. That is what we said. A and B are independent. That is, there is no correlation between them. That is our assumption. അപ്പൊ അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് ആകുമ്പോൾ ഉള്ള കൗണ്ട്സ് ഇത്രയാണ് കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. അതാണ് ഇ ഐ ജി. അതും ഒബ്സർവ്ഡും തമ്മിൽ ഡിഫറൻസ് എടുക്കുന്നു. അത് ഡിഫറൻസ് ചെറുതാണെങ്കിൽ എന്താണ്? ചെറുതാണെങ്കിൽ അത് നമ്മൾ ഇത് തമ്മിൽ, that is A and B are independent, so they are close together. The numbers we get are close together. പക്ഷെ അത് തമ്മിൽ റിലേഷൻ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ എക്സ്പെക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന വാല്യൂനേക്കാൾ ഒരുപാട് വ്യത്യാസം വരും. അപ്പോൾ ദിസ് chi-squared value we get will be very large. Okay. Now another thing we have to look at is, ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ chi-squared value നമ്മൾ ഈ ഡേറ്റയിൽ നിന്ന് നമ്മൾ ഇങ്ങനെ കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. That is, you have the observed value 250 here minus 90 divided by 90 plus next എന്താണ് 50 minus 210 divided by 210 plus അങ്ങനെ എല്ലാത്തിനെയും കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് you get a value like this. This is our chi-squared value. ഇനി ഇതിൽ നിന്ന് how do you infer that they are independent or dependent? അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞു chi-squared value ഭയങ്കര വലുതാണെങ്കിൽ they are actually dependent. chi-squared value is small എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ they are independent. Okay, അങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞത്. Now how do you actually decide on that? അത് ഡിസൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് it is based, ഇനി നമുക്ക് അതിൽ what we have to know is we have to know what is known as a significance level and degrees of freedom. ഈ രണ്ട് വാല്യൂസും കൂടെ കിട്ടിയിട്ടാണ് we will look at this chi-squared value, we will look at in a lookup table. ഈ chi-squared distribution corresponding ആയിട്ട് there is a table like this, standard table ആണ്. Okay, and to look it up you have to find out what is the degree of freedom associated with this particular example, and also what is a significance level. Now significance level എന്ന് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് Say if you have a distribution like this, okay, generally നമ്മളൊരു bell curve distribution ആണ് നമ്മൾ പറയാറ്. Okay, അപ്പോൾ let us say we are talking about an example. We are saying we are population of Kerala. We are drawing the population of Kerala, and we are inferring that the population of Kerala, say, uh, it is highly literate, right? Kerala is highly literate state. Okay, but Kerala is 100% literate state is our hypothesis. പക്ഷേ when you say that there'll be ഒരു ചെറിയ level, at least a small population, say for example a small population, major population might be literate, ഈ major ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഏരിയ ലിറ്ററേറ്റ് ആയിരിക്കാം, പക്ഷേ ഒരു സ്മോൾ പോപ്പുലേഷൻ, ഇവിടെ നമ്മൾ ഈ സ്മോൾ പോപ്പുലേഷൻ മൈറ്റ് നോട്ട് ബി ലിറ്ററേറ്റ് അല്ലെ. യു കനോട്ട് സേ 100% 100% ലിറ്ററേറ്റ് ആണെന്ന് നമുക്ക് പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അപ്പോൾ this significant, this is this what you call a significance level. That is, any statement is in statistics is always qualified by a significance level. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൽ say we are saying this is significant level 5% എന്ന് നമ്മൾ ചിലപ്പോൾ പറയും, or it is 0.5% is 0.05 അല്ലേ, 0.05, okay, whatever. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇവിടെ 2.5%, ഇവിടെ 2.5% വന്നിട്ട് ബാക്കിയുള്ളതിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ നമ്മുടെ ഹൈപ്പോത്തസിസിൽ ട്രൂ ആയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ പറയുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോ so that is what is significance level. In what is degree of freedom? Now for any variable, degree of freedom എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ, if you talk about a single object, that is the directions in which it can move എന്നാണ് ജനറലി അതിന്റെ മീനിങ് ആയിട്ട് പറയുക. ഒരു എയറിൽ ഒരു പാർട്ടിക്കിൾ ഇരുന്ന് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഡിഗ്രി ഓഫ് ഫ്രീഡം മീൻസ് വാട്ട് ആർ ദ ഡയറക്ഷൻസ്, ഫ്രീഡം ടു മൂവ് ഇൻ എനി, വാട്ട് ആർ ദ ഡയറക്ഷൻസ് ഇൻ വിച്ച് ഡസ് ഫ്രീഡം ടു മൂവ്. ആൻഡ് ഇൻ ദ കേസ് ഓഫ് എ വേരിയബിൾ, ഹൗ മെനി വാല്യൂസ്, ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് വാല്യൂസ് ക്യാൻ ഇറ്റ് ടേക്ക്. അപ്പൊ ഇപ്പൊ ഈ ഒരു കേസിൽ നമ്മൾ ഡിഗ്രി ഓഫ് ഫ്രീഡം എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞു ആറാണ് നമ്മളുടെ ആട്രിബ്യൂട്ട്സിന്റെ A എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ആട്രിബ്യൂട്ടിന് there are R different values and B has C different values. അപ്പോൾ degree of freedom ഇവിടെ R, I don't know why it is R minus 1 into C minus 1. Basically it is how many independent directions it can move, or it is approximately R into C, or here it is taken as R minus 1 into C minus 1. There must be some justification for that. But here for this example we have R is 2 and C is also 2. So R minus 1 into C minus 1 is 1 into 1 is 1 itself. Okay. So in our case, the degree of freedom in our example is 1. And here, if you're taking a significance level of 0.05 like we did earlier, then the chi-squared value 3 ആണെങ്കിൽ, 3യോ അതിൽ കുറവോ ആണെങ്കിൽ, then our hypothesis is said to be true. What is our hypothesis? That is A and B are independent. 3യിൽ കുറവാണെങ്കിലാണ് അത് ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് ആയിട്ട് പറയുന്നത്. 3യിൽ കൂടുതലാണെങ്കിൽ it is dependent. Okay, so if you take the maximum value given here, it still is only 10. But what is the value we calculated is 500, which means A and B are actually dependent. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മളെ ഹൈപ്പോത്തസിസ് ഫോൾസ് ആണ്. ആ ഹൈപ്പോത്തസിസ് A and B are independent, പക്ഷേ അത് വാല്യൂ ഗ്രേറ്റർ ആയതുകൊണ്ട് A and B are said to be dependent. So this is how we find out whether two attributes are related to each other. So next we will look at correlation between attributes which are of numeric type. Okay, so here the first method, first measure is called correlation coefficient or Pearson's correlation coefficient. So these terms we have studied actually from school onwards, right? This term, all of you must be familiar with this term, correlation coefficient or Pearson's correlation coefficient. So again, we have two attributes A and B. We are assuming both of them are numeric. Okay. And here this A bar actually stands for the mean value of A, and B bar stands for mean value of B. So what is computed here is for every data item, okay, AI, that is you've got n number of data items in the data set, and for each of these data items you find the difference between these two. Okay, difference AI minus A bar into BI minus B bar, that is what you compute. So here what happens is, if this value AI. When value AI increases and correspondingly if BI also increases, then the difference, both the difference will be positive, right? So, and that positive number divided by n and the standard deviations of A, standard deviations of A and B. So, you are actually dividing the difference between them divided by the standard deviations, which means this is actually a normalizing measure. Here, നമ്മൾ ഡിഫറൻസ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നു. ഡിഫറൻസിനെ നോർമലൈസ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ് ഡീവിയേഷൻസ് വെച്ച് ഡിവൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെ ഡിവൈഡ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ വാട്ട് ഹാപ്പൻസ് ഈസ് യു ഗെറ്റ് എ വാല്യൂ ബിറ്റ്വീൻ for this we get a value between -1 and +1. So basically, if you have AI, when AI increases, BI also increases. That is when they are positively correlated. The difference value, what you generate will be a positive value. Okay, you get a positive value here, and you divide by the standard deviations to get a something a positive number between 0 and 1. They're positively correlated. Okay, now if this AI increases and BI correspondingly decreases, which means one of the value will be positive and the other will be negative. Okay, okay, ഇത് കൂടുതൽ ആയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ this will be positive and this decreases means this will be negative. And again you are normalizing using the standard deviation. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു നെഗറ്റീവ് നമ്പർ ആയിരിക്കും. So that is negatively correlated. A and B are negatively correlated. When both of them രണ്ടുപേരും ഒരുമിച്ച് ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ then you can say it is positively correlated and you'll have a correlation coefficient which is positive. Otherwise, when one increases and the other decreases, then they are negatively correlated and you'll have a value which is less than 0 or some close to -1. And when the value is 0, okay, when it is 0, it means A and B are independent of each other. This is how you compute the correlation between attributes which are numeric. This is one method. And related method is called covariance. Okay, covariance also. Okay, ഇതിൽ ഒരു കാര്യം കൂടെ പറഞ്ഞോട്ടെ. This equation is actually same as this equation itself. പക്ഷെ this is easier to compute because ഈ കേസിൽ നമ്മൾ ഓരോ ഐറ്റമും എടുത്തിട്ട് അതിന്റെ മീനുമായിട്ടുള്ള ഡിഫറൻസ് നമ്മൾ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കണം for both A and B. But here what you do is once you calculate the mean, you just have to multiply corresponding AIs and BIs. ഓരോന്നിനും നമ്മൾ ഡിഫറൻസ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കേണ്ട കാര്യമില്ല. But both are actually equivalent. Okay. So this is easier to compute and that is why it is written here. Okay. Now moving on to the next one, covariance. Covariance is also related. Okay, covariance-നകത്ത് നമ്മൾ എന്താ ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഇതുപോലെ തന്നെ, but the only difference is you don't divide by the standard deviation. The standard deviation വെച്ച് divide ചെയ്ത് നമുക്ക് we wanted to normalize it to -1 to +1. So covariance value is not in the range -1 to +1. When that is when they're positively correlated, when A and B positively correlated, that is when A increases, B also increases, which means you will have a positive value here. Okay, so if A is larger than A bar, then B is larger than B bar, then covariance between A and B will be positive. When they are positively correlated, you have a positive number. But if A is larger than A bar and B is smaller than B bar, that is when A increases, B decreases, then the covariance is said to be negative. Okay. Uh, Now this actually also can be written as. Okay, so before going into an example, I wanted to show you this can actually be rewritten as expectation of AB minus expectation of A into expectation of B. How you write it is expectation of A minus A bar into B minus B bar. A bar is actually expectation of A, B bar is actually expectation of B. So you can write this as expectation of A minus expectation of A into B minus expectation of B. Now you multiply the corresponding terms. Here you have got AB minus A into expectation of B plus expectation of A into B plus expectation of A into expectation of B. Now, since there is an outside expectation here, when you apply to it, this becomes expectation of AB minus expectation of A into expectation of B minus expectation of A into expectation of B plus expectation of A into expectation of B. So these two can actually cancel out. So finally you get this can actually be written as covariance is equal to expectation of AB minus expectation of A into expectation of B. So it is this that is used for the calculations because it is easier to calculate. Okay, so here we have got an example. You have got stock prices of two companies, all electronics and high tech. So these are the values at different points in time. So here we want to know whether there is a correlation between these two stock prices. Okay, so first of all, you calculate the expectation value of the all electronics, which is using this equation, you get $4. Similarly, expectation of high tech is also calculated and you get $10. Now, sorry, using this equation, expectation of AB minus expectation of A into expectation of B. So you calculate expectation of AB is 6 into 20 plus 5 into 10 plus 14 into 3 uh, 14 into 4 plus 3 into 5 plus 2 into 5 divided by 5. That is expectation of AB minus expectation of A is 4, expectation of B is 10. So with that, you are able to calculate the covariance as 7. So it is a positive number. So we can say the two are actually correlated to each other. Okay. So how that is how we do the calculation.